So at the end of the last video, I finished with taking delivery of these drawers, and they could be made to look okay in situ, I suppose, but they're terribly flimsy. They're no good for cutlery drawers, which is what this is going to be, and they're just not fit for purpose. So I'm back to plan A. I'll be dropping this down to use as a shelf down here. The ductwork is going to come down here from the heater, so it's got this shelf will come to about here with a panel here, and I'm going back to plan A with the piece of aluminium and sliding aluminium down the grooves. So I'll be cutting the 2020 to size in a minute, but first I've done that this morning. That's one panel that we're waiting to be fitted, and also this bit down here what I wasn't happy with. I've taken this big panel out because this wasn't flat down to the floor. It was moving about. It was a bit higher than this, and it was moving about, and I wasn't happy with it at all. So I fixed it down to the floor properly. It was a problem at this end that was stopping it from going down far enough, so I've sorted that out, cut it a little bit shorter, and that's exactly how I want it now. So just in case I put it panel back on, and then I can start with the drawer runners. So got that back in place, nice and firm. Peace of mind's a lot better. It keeps trying to rain out here, so then stop play. I've got two pieces of this cut for these bits either side, so I just need to cut a couple of pieces an adequate length just for the sliders. I'll try and do that tomorrow, weather permitting. I'll just take this out ready. For the time being I might as well use these corner supports that are in. Okay, so this is the morning after. I've taken the shelf out. I've also swapped these around because these run the inner side here. Cut these yesterday, they're in position, they're not fastened in. This is just to show how I'm doing it. These are too long, they need shortening to, I don't know, maybe that long, something like that. Just give me enough travel. The trouble is I'm restricted by the gap here. I could have done without these two further back to give me more travel for the drawer runners. It should give me a deep enough drawer anyway. It's just the wine crates that I've ordered actually got the full depth of this space. The shallowest one, which I was intending using as the cutlery drawer, goes the full length, so it's not ideal. But what I'm thinking of, I might be able to use that one and store a portable butane cooker in that, so that wouldn't be a bad idea. So I might make two shelves here, the deep one below the cutlery drawer. So got that one in position. It's not fastening yet. That'll slide a lot more easily once the plinth is in position on top of it. So I'm just getting a standard level for them all, 17 centimetres from the beam across, and then once the plinth's in position and the drawers are on, I'll just basically slacken it all off and shove it all up as far as it'll go. That's about it. Get it tightened up. Last one. If I can do it one-handed, it's a bit awkward. What's that? See, this one's tightening. And I'll do it. So that's my plinth cut. Now I've just got to put couple of drawers, fasten it to this slider. So I've fitted the plinth in place, and what I'm concerned about, we're not enough travel on the drawer, and that's not quite far enough. It needs to be a bit more than that, even for a cutlery drawer. So I think cutting it off there, making it all sort of that sort of point instead of where I've done it will be better. I'm not going to do that today. It is actually quite a lot of work. So I've got to cut the sliders down by 3/4 of an inch maybe at each side, cut the wood down. I'll do that tomorrow. The benefit of this is not making cheap sliders. The benefit of this is being able to make cheap drawers if you've done your build out of 2020. That's the benefit. You can use anything as a drawer then, because it's actually supported at the bottom instead of at the sides. So apart from doing me little drawer runners today, I wanted to get rid of some of the wood from in my kitchen, because I've still got quite a pile to get down. And I wanted to use an offcut to get all this piece done behind bed on the wall. And the piece I'd got wasn't quite big enough. Well, it was big enough to do this along that side and that side. And that's a nice little job out of that way. Quite pleased with that for one day. Get all that apart again. This drawer runner. Cut this down. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned about is how close together these are, with it being in one spot on the drawer. I'm slightly concerned it'll need perfectly balancing to run in and out properly. So I've actually cut this down in and short that way, in that way each end, and short that way, because I don't want the plinth showing when the drawer's pulled out. But I have actually now got much more travel. It is as good as I can get it. So I'm just in the process of fastening it in, and it's all done. Okay, that's all fastened in. Bear in mind that is sitting a lot further back than yesterday, because I've cut it down. So the drawer's gonna, the actual wine crate compartment part of the drawer is going to be out here, and that is really, I think, plenty enough for a cutlery drawer. Okay, so this bit, when it's down, I mentioned earlier in the video, when it's down, it's the part of the headrest bit for the bed. When it's up, it's the backrest for the seat. So at that side, it can't go any further. At this side, I've put this bit in, which is I'm not happy with, because there's always a chance you could bang your head on it lying in bed and get yourself I don't know, get yourself in eye with it or something. Apart from else, I need to fasten it up. I'm looking at doing what I did with this, which is the same sort of thing. That's the bed clicks in place. So I bought two of these at once. It's exactly the same as one holding bed in. And I'm looking now, and now I've had a good look at it. Fastening this here. Okay, so when I was planning this, I forgot about the angle of this thing. It has to click in like that, so this has to be on the back of that, not on this side. Well, that is actually the perfect solution. Okay, so I find an even easier answer to this, and that's this bit that actually comes with it. For that to come here, it just needs a piece of 1.5 inch angle attaching to this face and attaching to this bit, and that is it. Really easy. I've cut it down a bit, but it's still pretty easy. Now, unbelievably, I've just found this bracket in the house that were actually in the Murphy bed fitting kit. It's nothing to do with this, but it's actually drilled perfectly for this to fit. Now, unfortunately, it don't quite fit perfectly. It's neither in nor there. So all I'm going to do is re-drill the holes here, fit that to this side, or I can just plain drill these holes further back here. That'll work. Either way, will work easily enough. In fact, that might be the easiest way. But yeah, this piece of bracket is just, it's not perfect, but it's close to being perfect, and I've got to do very little with it. So I'm just re-drilling the bracket for the lounge seat backrest. So I've already cut this off, re-drilled it, fitting nicely, should be perfect. So I've got it in position, not quite lined up. This is one of the advantages of working with 2020, you can just slide it down the groove. Okay, so I've overlooked one little bit here, which I actually did exactly the same when we were doing bed. I've kind of lined it up tight like that, and it don't want to be like that. It needs to be on the actual slanting bit, so it needs to come out here to that sort of point. It might even work flat and directly onto that face. Okay, so the simple way that I thought were going to be really simple is not going to work. Now, I'm going to take all this panel back off. Cut this bit out. That obviously gets the screw out of the way, so I have to re-drill the screw. That's going to have to go there. Okay, so there were two of these bits in the Murphy bed fitting kit. And because I'm now working off the other surface of the 2020, I need a flat plate rather than an angled one. So I've drilled the other one in the fitting kit. I just got to cut its edge off, and then finally I'm ready. So this is turning into a frustrating job. I've got a clearance issue here, so I'm going to have to cut it off to that line. It's either that, or I can just turn it down and cut that back. But it'll look a mess done like that. I might as well do it neat and just do it properly. So finally, that's what I'm left with. Should just thread on all the way. Turn it all the way. So that's in place. I've just got the clearance, I think. I found the bolts were a little bit too long, so I had to put a couple of washers in. Yes, finally. It's amazing how you can have a really smooth as silk day like yesterday was, and today it'd be a complete pain. And that was a pain. Okay, so my wine crates have come, and they look really nice actually, although they obviously only simply put together. There's a couple of nails at each side, each end. This top one, I've had to cut it down because I want the front to lip under here. The benefit of leaving the back up there is it'll keep it all level, instead of once it's up there it won't tilt back this way like this because of the lip at the back. I'm quite happy to leave it slightly proud of the work surface like that, because in cutting these sides down I've already cut through the nail a bit. Can you see it? You can see it there, that's a bit more obvious. I've cut down on the end of the nail, and that's the only thing holding it all together. So yeah, I could get a couple more nails and just put one in a bit lower, and I might end up doing that. I'll have to see if I'm happy with the draw just protruding a little bit like that over the edge of the work surface. So before I actually fasten this in, I'm sorting out the handle. So I've drilled the holes, but these screws are a little bit long. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line the inside of the crates with something, I'm not sure what yet, probably just black vinyl. So I've been busy with the things today. I'm just cutting screws down in my kitchen, as you do. Got that one done, that looks really nice. Unfortunately, my cutlery utensil thing won't fit, so it's going to have to go in the big one. That's all my drawer handles on, but we're swapping that around for that. Like I've cut that side down, I'm going to have to do the same with this one, both sides. So be on with that tomorrow. Okay, so now I'll be cutting some more runners. Just one more cut to do. Cut that in half, and these are going to be the actual sliders. I'm just finishing off a panel for the back left of the van. Not starting. And now I'm going to turn my attention to putting that top drawer in. Okay, so I've got this bigger size drawer. Actually thinking in terms of it going that way, even that way it won't go. But it won't go, which is a stupid mistake. But with a lot of undoing and messing about, I'll have to take that off and redo that piece. But I think this wall slacken an old lot will actually slide across that way a bit. Whether it'll quite go, I'm just not sure there's enough clearance for it to all go. It's actually the sink that's causing me a problem now. Just whether that one is going to hit the sink or not. It's a lot of work if it don't fit. So I just run into a slight problem sliding this that way. This sink holder isn't where this, but I can get round it. It only wants slackening off and twisting round that way a bit. So I should be able to do it hopefully. So after a bit of a struggle, I've now got clearance. But what I think I'm just going to have to move this corner piece. I can put it onto the other side. I can put it from there onto the back of this one. It's a lot of mucking about, but I need this drawer to be this size really, I think. Well, that'll teach me a lesson. That's an absolute nightmare. It fits with very little clearance either side, very little, absolute minimal. So to change that sink fastener for a washer, instead of an angled thing, so I don't have a problem with clearance, I've had to change this angled connector to that side from this side where the sink connector was, and I've had to move that angled connector to there from here because it was slightly away at top of the drawer. But finally, after about 3.5 hours of mucking about and driving me crazy, I finally got it all sorted. So I've got the basic shape drawn out for the little plinth. I've just got to cut it and drill it. Shouldn't take too long. So I needed 2 drawers, so I took the opportunity to copy and paste. Okay, so I've had to mess about adjusting it a bit, try and get it to run as smoothly as possible. I'm happy with that. It drops down a little bit at this end because the sliding bits here are so short. Could do him being a little bit longer to stop that. But I'm quite happy with that. It'll do me.